And my dad turns to me and I'm like, hey, I was like, you want to hit? And he looks at me like, and he's like, yeah. He's like, he just wanted to have a good time. So
he joined in with his boomer peers.
Yeah. And so he took a hit, and then he handed it back to me, and I took another, and then he tried being like Mr. Fun. He's like, hey, quit bulking that joint, And then like some other people were like, hey, you mind if I get a hit off that? And so we pass it around, between like 4 or 5 people. And anyways, and then we're roasted, right? After smoking this thing. And we're watching the show and just like blown away by it. And then, dude, fucking Brandy fucking comes out on stage fucking with the band. And she's wearing this, she's got like striped, it's like a ice cream server uniform back from the day, It's like this red and white striped like uniform on, and she's got this box, like an ice cream box with like a strap around her neck, and she's like taking ice cream and like, I forget if she was like throwing it out to the crowd or what, like ice cream bars or something, and I was just sitting there like,
tripping out.
What the fuck? Why? It's like, I was enjoying the show, and now I'm just like, because, we weren't really on the best terms at that point.
Yeah.
And,
so it threw your experience, it threw it entirely?
Yeah, it threw like a wrench in it, kind of, in a way, It was bizarre, It was like, why is this happening? And then I talked to my brother, like, the next day. I knew he was going to the show. I didn't think I'd see him there. I figured maybe I'd bump into him because it was at a big venue, like Tinley Park or the Rosemont, or I forget where it was, or maybe even World Music Theater. And I figured maybe I'd see him, maybe not. And there she was on stage, and I was just like, what the fuck? And then I saw my brother like a couple days later or something, or I called him, I don't remember. I was like, hey, I was like, why was Brandy on stage? And he's like, we were out in the parking lot, and, they saw her, and they came over, and they're like, hey, do you want to go on stage with the band, dress up in this costume? Would you mind doing that? And, they just kind of selected her out.
Yeah.
Out of the parking lot. And,
she had that kind of charm.
Yeah, she had that look about her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was just weird. It definitely freaked me out a little because I just smoked a big doobie with my dad. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, son of a bitch. Because I was pretty close to the front. I might have been like 10 or 15 rows back, not too far.
Yeah.
I was like, all right.
Yeah, I was going to ask you if that happened to be the same show.
Yeah, then I asked Shane about it. He was bummed out because he got left behind.
Yeah.
He got cooked, man.
Yeah. Okay. There's your ride or die chick.
Yeah, he said he shook Ian Anderson's hand, and it was like this limp fucking like.
Because he's like,
shake.
Thanks for giving us your chick. Fuck off, mate.
Yeah, totally. Just like douchey as hell. I was like, well, that sucks, because Shane admired him a lot, so it's kind of like.
Until you met him. Don't meet your heroes.
Yeah.
They become.
But he is an awesome flute player. Like, you can't deny that shit.
Oh yeah, dude.
He probably took baby juice in order to get his like superpowers.
Dance around on one leg, fucking blowing the flute, like blowing your fucking mind and shit.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, that's the Biden song right there, definitely.
Oh.
Eyeing little girls with bad intent.
Oh.
Sniffing them. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
And he was eyeing Brandy. I mean, she was pretty young compared to him. Well, she may be 20.
That's how he liked it.
Yeah.
He's like, all right. Here's one of my fucking my favorite songs ever by them, and one of my favorite songs ever.
Ah, there's a fantastic sound for you. We're heading into our finale at this point, so it's one more from everybody. This is Jethro Tull coming in first of all with a song for Jeffrey.
Gonna go the way tomorrow. Gonna get away my car. Take you in now with me. But it will not go far. See what I do not want to see. I don't hear what I don't hear. Won't be what I don't want to be. Continuing my way. Go see where I'm going. Go see where I'm going.
Listen, man. I imagine the fucking Jethro Tull bots are pretty strong too. But anyway, that song for Jeffrey, man. This is kind of like an odd version of it, and that it's got that dude talking about it. But that's a badass tune right there. Because the I think the original or the album version is a little just a tad slower, so you can really get into this fucking kick-ass, fucking the bluesy groove of it. It's fucking awesome. There it is. It's on Living in the Past. It's the first song. Check it.
What's on the album cover, huh?
On Living in the Past, it's yeah, it's like a brown cover. Oh Christ! With like gold lettering and gold writing, and it's got an image in the center of it, in like an oval line, and then it's Ian Anderson inside of it, but it's all done in like gold line drawing. Yeah, here's the album version. Anyway, badass jam. Fucking
yeah, I like his stuff. It's good old fashioned rock and roll. It's
yeah, but it's got
psychedelic kind of.
It's in kind of like a chamber music. I mean, it's just a crazy blend.
Very English sounding for sure.
Yeah, for sure, man. British. And like
it's like gypsy music or something. It's like
that's close. That sounds very close to what it is in that way, man. It's got a wild element to it. It definitely tips towards like old England, old with an E on it,
Yeah.
Yeah. I always liked
it. Yeah, it's got the what do they call it? The Renaissance kind of feel to it.
Flavor.
Very, like court jesters and fucking juggling and just circusy kind of like entertainment.
Yeah. And like
that's what it is. It's like entertainment, It's like he's very entertaining.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's like a court jester or something. It's weird.
And an excellent performer. See, now that's the other part of this that I wanted to talk about was the difference between an artist and a performer. Like, one is kind of the other, but they are not the same. Because, like, these guys, Jethro Tull, that is. Like, I'm looking at the album Stand Up, and it opens up with A New Day Yesterday, Jeffrey Goes to Leicester Square, then Martin Barre does his version of Bourrée, the classical piece, Back to the Family, but then into Look into the Sun. Man, it's just powerhouse shit. And it translated from album to stage. And of course, like you said, on the stage, it was like bravura performance powerhouse shit.
Oh, yeah, way beyond what you heard on the album. Whoa.
So
wow.
It even takes all of that shit to new levels. It's not just them doing it on stage at a slightly faster tempo, like a lot of live stuff, like a lot of live versions are just like a little bit quicker a lot of times. But
Yeah.
but they
Yeah, it was
fucking.
it was masterful entertainment. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like he was like a third generation entertainer or something. Or something.
Well,
obviously,
and even when you watch footage of them from like the late 60s, say maybe like early 70s kind of period,
Mm-hmm.
he even had it then as a much younger man when they were young.
Yeah, I mean, he probably grew up in it, so that's why. Because something like that, I don't think just comes to you. Like, hey, I'm gonna entertain people.
I mean, charisma is only going to take you so far before you have to have chops and shit and skill.
Yeah, I guess I don't know the backstory on that one, so.
Yeah, that makes two of us. I'm not sure about how they came to be. I'm just glad that they did.
Yeah, cool stuff.
Yeah, that look into the sun, man.
If you've never heard it, then you're just too young, I
guess.
Yeah. go listen to some.
Lose your innocence on some fucking Jethro Tull shit. Fucking check out Look Into the Sun. Badass. And A New Day Yesterday. God damn, that's such powerhouse shit. It was a new day yesterday, but it's an old day now. Boom, bam, bam. Anyway, so that's definitely a creepy album cover, for sure. But I was thinking of some others, like let's see if I have it. Queen, News of the World. If you've ever seen that, let's see, do I have it? No, I don't have that album. Fuck. Anyway, it's the members of Queen, but there's this giant robot, kind of, well, humanoid-ish robot, and he has them all in his hands on the front cover. And then on the back cover, they're all like dead in his hands, like he's crushed them. It's pretty crazy.
Oh yeah, that is weird.
Here, let me see. There's a Beatles album cover that is fucking wild as shit.
Yeah, they got some pretty wild.
Here it is.
Artwork.
Yesterday and Today. Okay, the original album cover, I'm looking at it right now, of the Beatles, Yesterday and Today, has them, let's see, George is standing, but John, Paul, and Ringo are seated in front of him. They all have these white, like, kind of butcher's coats on, or lab coats. Yeah, and they've got like decapitated, like a couple dolls with the heads busted off, and like Ringo and Paul and John have like meat, like these big, like huge steaks, and John has looks like a full spread of ribs and shit, like all on them. They're not all bloody or gory or anything. It's just weird and like wildly kind of like disturbing. But there they are all, man. John and George are smiling huge. Paul looks like he's got that soy boy open mouth kind of thing going on. And Ringo's just kind of like, yeah, Ringo, yeah.
I'm looking at a picture of them right now. They're looking off a balcony, like in a kind of a high-rise apartment or something.
Yeah, that's the shots from the greatest hits. Like 62 to 66 and 66 to 70.
It's the same thing, like Paul McCartney's got the mouth open and Ringo's just like, The other two are doing like kind of teeth grins and shit.
Yeah, that must have just been their stock go-to. All right, Paul, open your mouth.